Welcome, everyone, to Passive Income Global Reach. I'm Sheila Paxton, and I'm delighted that you're joining us today. I'm going to make you a promise. When you implement the tips and tools I have for you today, you'll find yourself ready to take that next step towards greatly expanding your business by certifying others to teach your programs. Now, how does that sound? I hope it sounds good to you. So first, I have a couple of Zoom tricks for you while we're on the program together. If you'll notice in the upper left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see some different controls. One of them that I'd love you to use is the Q&A control, question and answer. And as we're going through the program, if you have a question, please post it in there. I'll be checking as we go through to see what questions we have. The other fun thing that we have is a raise hand. Now, if you raise your hand, that means that I can bring you on screen, on video, to ask your question. So don't be shy. Again, the Q&A box is active, and so is the raising hand. So I want to tell you a little bit about the PCF, and I'm going to start in by telling you that my passion is helping people just like you to grow your businesses and multiply your impact and income by certifying others to teach your programs. So why listen to me? Well, it's been an interesting journey that led me to share my expertise to help people just like you certify others to teach their programs. I've been an entrepreneur for many years and an instructional design expert and author. Now, over the years, I've had the privilege of developing web-based certification programs for companies like Procter & Gamble and AT&T and American Express. This work was done through a company I founded and developed called the Institute for Performance Excellence. I leveraged our intellectual property with a vast wealth of tools and information that we had developed, and we experienced meteoric growth over a 3-year period, from zero in income to 6.5 million in revenue in that short of a time. Now, I was approached by an organization that was interested in adding my company to their portfolio of businesses. This is when technology businesses were the big rage and everybody was into consolidating. So what you could do is you could say that they made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. And what I decided to do was to sell my company. Well, after that, I decided to pursue coaching because I didn't want to necessarily have a huge team again. So I went back to school like all good professionals do, and I got specialized education and concentrated on relationship coaching. Now, the reason I chose relationships is a very juicy story, which I'll save for another time. But after I finished my relationship coaching training, I developed a proprietary relationship coaching system, and it was called Fit for Love. Now, my client base grew really quickly, but soon I realized that I hit an income ceiling. I wasn't making money unless I was coaching. I worked 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I just couldn't work any harder. So one afternoon, as I was reviewing my appointments for the next day, I remembered what I had done with the Institute for Performance Excellence. What I did is I leveraged my company's intellectual property. Do you know what I mean by that? Think about your current content in your current program or your current knowledge. Your knowledge and the unique approach that you use has unlimited value to the marketplace. So are you leveraging your content, your platform, your products to its greatest potential, such as licensing other people to use it, building additional programs from it, training other coaches to deliver it for you? We're going to be examining all these points. So back to my story. And by the way, I am just getting over a very serious illness, and I still have a cough left. So please excuse me if I mute myself to cough, and then I'll be right back on screen. So anyway, I had reached a point in my career where I couldn't take on any more clients in Fit for Love. I was full. which meant I didn't have any room for revenue growth. So ideas came flashing into my mind, and I had the instructional design expertise from the past to leverage the content that I had and the relationship coaching formula, which was a unique formula that I had copyrighted, and I could certify other coaches to deliver that program. Now, this was an amazing opportunity to increase the number of people who could be impacted by Fit for Love, and at the same time, increase my income by certifying other coaches to be Fit for Love coaches and license my methods and Fit for Love tools. So as I was thinking about this, I wanted my certification program to be accredited by a high visibility coaching organization, and I started my research. And I discovered that I could submit my program to the International Coach Federation, or ICF as some people know it, to be accredited by them for continuing education credits. I was thrilled that my application was accepted on first submission, which is almost unheard of. I can show you how to do that too. Fit for Love received ICF accreditation, which meant we were listed in their continuing education catalog and their events calendar. So I started and continued to train coaches around the world to be my global ambassadors. Now, 2 years ago, a colleague asked me if I could walk her through the same steps I took to develop my Fit for Love coach certification program. So I thought about it, and then I realized that I had the expertise to train all types of professional coaches to have the same amazing results that I was having. I was earning brand new certification training income and great passive income through licensing my materials and tools. As I started to make some really great money this way, it became clear to me that thousands of coaches just like you have amazing content and they're not sure how to leverage their programs. So it was a natural next step for me to develop a step-by-step program that helps everyone who has products and programs with their unique approach to expand their reach and revenue by certifying others to deliver this program. Now, later on today, I'm going to give you the opportunity to develop your certification program with me by your side. But first, now that I've painted the picture for you, I'm going to share my unique formula with you and save you the hassles and effort it took me to master the process of certifying others to teach your programs. I'm going to give you the step-by-step process to develop a brand new passive revenue source in your business. Now, there's no other approach like this in the coaching field. So today, what you'll be learning is the important steps that are part of discovering how you can multiply your impact and income and to have gobs of passive income and increase your global reach. I use these tools every day in my work. It's how I've expanded my business and my reach, and you can do it too. Now, you're going to want to stick around through the end of the program because I have a second gift for you. Since you're on this program, there's a strong chance that you're interested in having more free time, making more money, and learning how to certify your content or programs to expand your influence and income. Now think about this for a second. Your signature program is one of your largest business assets, if not the largest. If you decide to take a certification program path, you'll experience 3 major business transformations, which I experienced and all of my clients have experienced. The first transformation that you're going to experience is that you're going to have a team of global brand ambassadors who promote your product. Imagine having people around the world that are teaching your program and promoting your brand. That's exactly what I was able to do with Fit for Love, and my clients are able to do with their programs. The second benefit that you're going to receive is that you'll have recurring revenue from your content licensing fees. Yes, you will be licensing your content to those that you certify in your program and be receiving those checks or automatic payments regularly as a form of passive income for you. It feels great to have those direct deposits coming in. The next benefit you're going to gain is increased visibility and credibility by getting your program accredited through coaches training institutes such as the International Coach Federation or ICF. So some examples of that, and I want you to know that there are almost 40,000 ICF coaches. And each of those certified coaches must take a 40 hours of continuing education over a 3-year period. So why not have your program accredited for continuing education credits and attract all those coaches? You would be listed in the ICF catalog. The other ICF benefit is that you are part of their events calendar. So when you have an event or a webinar, teleseminar going on, then you can invite all of the people who regularly visit the ICF website. So we're going to dive into these steps of certification, but there's a little pre-work that you have to do before you jump in to say, okay, I'm going to be certifying my programs. So the first consideration is that it's important to have a proven program already, or content that you have that produces results. For instance, I have clients that are authors who don't have a program, but we're taking their book and turning that content into a program where they can certify others to teach it. So it's being a content expert with a program that you know works, or using your existing signature program to start with. The second consideration is that you have an interested audience that can or has benefited from your work. What I like to call that is proof of concept. You've delivered your work and it has worked, or in the case of authors or other experts, you've published, people buy your book, you've gotten great feedback, testimonials, so you know that this is a concept that people want and it's going to work. Now, the third consideration is a little more complex, and I'll do my best to explain this one to you, and that's the ability for you to train on 2 levels. So what happens is you have your content right here, and the first audience that you've used it for are your current clients. But now picture over on this side, you have coaches. So you have coaches that you're going to need to teach the content client, and you need to teach these coaches the methods, the competencies they need to be as good as you are in delivering the program. So you have the client level, you have the coach level, and it's your ability to work on what the coaches need to know to support the clients that's going to be important. And the last consideration before you dig into developing your own coach certification program is that you have the ability to reach other coaches. Some examples of how we do this and how I do it are through joint venture partners whose lists have the same characteristics of my target market list. And in my case right now, it's other coaches. So partnering with those people. It's great if you have your own mailing list, or you can build a mailing list of coaches who would be interested in becoming certified in your program and process. A social media exposure will help you, and social media advertising. So it's knowing that you have the ability to do some marketing to bring people in once you've developed your program. So now to what I've promised, which is the program itself. So again, I want to call your attention up to the upper left-hand side of your screen. As you have questions, please post them for me. I'll take a look every so often over there to see if there are open questions. And if you'd like to come on camera after I finish the presentation to ask your question, please just raise your hand. It has the button up there on the screen, and you will be able to come on screen and join me, which will be a lot of fun. So there are 7 key steps to take, and I'm going to share these with you now to take your content and turn it into a certification program where you can be working with other coaches who will teach and license your content. So these are the steps that I took, the exact steps I took. These are the steps that my clients take, and it's making a huge difference in the coaching world. Many of the successful coaches that you hear about or you're in touch with have already gone through program certification formula, my program, and are now certifying coaches to deliver their content and to license their content also. So the first step in this process is to review closely your signature program or your process to make sure that the progression of learning is clear. What I mean by that is that you identify at the very beginning what your point A is. So point A is your client, your coach, doesn't know anything about this program or very little. And what you're going to be doing with your logical progression of learning is moving people over to point B, where they are proficient with your knowledge. And in the case of the coaches that you're training, they have the skills, the tools, the competencies, the content to deliver that as well as you do. So the progression of learning is to ask yourself, with my existing program, is it really clear, step by step, how we get people from this point A to this point B? And one of the things that I like to work a lot with clients on is to refine these steps, the step-by-step progression, so that each step has areas where a person can implement, can actually apply the activities. And we'll talk about that again in just a few minutes. Your second step then is to develop your certification requirements. Credible certification programs have required performance standards that each coach must meet before receiving their certifications. So in the case of the Fit for Love coach certification, what we had as a requirement is that you be either a life coach or a relationship coach or a personal development coach before you enter the program, that you've had at least 2 years of coaching practice with paid clients, and that you have a lot of comfort in Socratic questioning and some of the other important competencies that are listed by the International Coach Federation. One of the other things that you'll be doing is you will be identifying the requirements that a person needs to reach in order to get your certification. So when they enter the program, do they have to attend all the sessions? Do they have to write summaries? Do they have to listen to sessions that are pre-work kinds of items? Do they need to listen to a session that's been recorded if they miss a class? So you'll be thinking about the types of requirements that you'll have when a person is complete with the program. Step 3 then is to identify the steps involved for your trainees to achieve program mastery. So these are what we call the application activities. Now, a lot of programs that you'll see online strictly present you with content, lots and lots of content. However, are they teaching you how to implement? how to go and practice. You've gotten a chunk of content. What do you need to do to go and practice? And this is the step 3 in your certification process, is to make sure that along the way, with each of the programs that you deliver, that you have application activities for people to do so that it will help them to immediately implement the ideas, the knowledge you're giving them into their programs. Now, some examples that you can use also for implementation are to have, when you're teaching your course, coaches teach each other, to have video practice sessions, just ideas, group types of mastermind meetings outside of class where people get to practice and apply the skills that you are giving them. Your step 4 in the process is to identify how you're going to know if a coach is ready to deliver your program. And that's what I was talking about but just before, in terms of the requirements. How will you know that they're ready? Now remember, every single person that you certify is going to carry your brand. What does a person need to do to prove that they have the expertise, the experience, the competence, the confidence to be your ambassador? In Fit for Love, what I required is that a person attend every class, or at least listen to the recording and submit a summary for our review if they missed a class. The next requirement was to attend a lab, which was formed by a triad. 3 people from the class were assigned to a triad where they had role-playing activities to do before the next program. 1 person for each time there was a lab was to document what happened in the lab, what really worked well for them, what they feel they might need new work on, and so on. But having that as a requirement was really important to us. The final requirement before a person could become certified as a Fit for Love coach was that they take 1 client, and I recommended that it be pro bono, but I recommended that they needed to take 1 client all the way through the 10 weeks of training that was in Fit for Love. What we had was an automated feedback form that the client filled out about the coach after each session. And then the coach filled out an automatic form that came to our office about how they felt about that program and delivering that program, what worked, what might not, what they might need more concentration in. So having those requirements, and then what we did is we reviewed a person's entire case with the client from beginning to end. And we had what we call our oral arguments, that one of the Fit for Love team, who was a clinical psychologist, reviewed the client feedback and the coach feedback and really talked a person through what they've learned, what other steps they want, what continuing education do they need. And then they were awarded, based on our assessment, the certification. It might seem complex, but I thought about having Fit for Love logos on every certified coach's website, and how did I want our brand to be considered, and how did I want our brand to be put out there in the marketplace? So that's why we had some really stringent requirements. I work with clients very closely on coming up with these requirements for the very reason that people will be reflecting you, and you want the best reflection that you can have out in the marketplace. Now, step 5 is to develop your training materials and your licensing agreements. Now, what you'll need to do is to develop the exact process you're going to use to present your program to coach trainees, along with all the supporting materials you're going to use to market your certification program and to provide for your coaches that have been trained to use as resources when they're no longer in your program. So some examples of materials are video recordings, audios, transcripts, workbooks, training guides, and the like. Now, what I give clients that are working on the program certification formula are templates and tools that they can carry with them, resources, and I use a program portal, I call it, which is a virtual academy where my trainees come in, can get their videos, audios, worksheets all in one place, tracks progress, and it sends out emails to remind people of homework or to say, we haven't seen you here in a while. So there are lots and lots of those types of programs that you can use. You'll also need to have a formal licensing agreement detailing your copyright requirements, your fees, and how long the coverage period is going to be that you'll license a person. Most of the clients I work with include the first year's licensing in their initial training fee for the coach certification. You can do it that way. You can have it separately. There's lots of different ideas that I have, and I have a template also that I work with my clients on in terms of developing their licensing agreements, which save lots of money and headaches in dealing with attorneys. So as I'm going through, please submit questions. You might have questions on some of these specific things that I can answer and how these will work for you. Now we're getting into the next step, which is step 6, which involves submitting your content for accreditation to places, organizations such as the International Coach Federation, where you can get continuing education credits to be included in their program listings. It's a big process to do this application, but it's going to set you apart from the crowd. Getting accredited is a huge jump in credibility, and you don't have to shy away, because I'm going to give you something that will make the process much easier for you when we're working together. I just got a question, which I see, which is the cost for the ICF to approve, and are there fees from them to do this? There is a fee from ICF, which is renewed annually, and it's based on the number of hours that you want to have as continuing education credits, which are normally based on the hours of training that you have in it. It can range anywhere from 6 hours, which is $250 right now, up to 50 plus hours, which ranges at about $1,200 to submit your application and get approved, which must be updated annually. And so with Fit for Love, we again had to do that annual submission. You won't really know how many hours you have in terms of submitting for the ICF until you develop your certification program. And then you might think, well, I just want to have a part of it accredited, or I want to have the whole thing accredited. Now, another question that just came up was, how well known does a program need to be before it's worth it to create a certification program? Great question. And what I want you to know for that is it doesn't have to be well known. My program, Fit for Love, was not well known at all. All I needed to do was to know how to reach coaches that were in that space of relationship, life coaching, personal development coaching. But what is important for you is to be able to know that your program works, that it produces positive results, to have proof of concept, because as you're training coaches, they're going to want to know that this has worked for you when you were working with clients. So the certification process, the accreditation process with ICF, as I said, is fairly complex. It's, for me, it's fun. And I know, because I'm an instructional design guru. I love to do program design. Now, the reason, though, I got so excited about having accreditation, and that my clients are so excited about having accreditation for their programs is it sets you apart from your competition. It also gives you that good housekeeping seal of approval, because when you receive accreditation, the ICF sends you their logo and exactly how you can present it on your website to show that you have a coach certification program that is ICF accredited. So you have the logo there, and your coaches that you certify will be able to say, I am certified by an accredited ICF program. Now, here's one of the really nice points is that in order for you to submit your particular program to be accredited, you do not need to have ICF credentials yourself. You do not have to be an ICF credentialed coach in order to submit your program. What you must do, though, in your program is spend time focusing on competencies and the competencies that ICF talk about. And we spend quite a lot of time talking about that in my program certification formula. So the final step then is step 7, is you are going to be screening your coach trainees to deliver that are going to be delivering your program. So you'll develop an application form that coaches complete to attest to the level of coaching knowledge that they have. Now, some of your screening questions might include experience as a coach, or coaching credentials, their education, professional memberships, and so on. After screening and enrollment, you're going to be ready to put your certification program out into the marketplace. So again, on those 7 steps or anything else that's come up for you, please submit that in the Q&A box and I'll get back to you with that. Now let's take a look a little bit deeper then at what it takes to market your new certification program. So here are some steps I'd like you to think about before you're diving in. That you first clearly identify your market potential. So what I mean by that is, and what I did when I was developing Fit for Love, is I know that there are over 1 million coaches just in the United States alone. Now, a portion of that, a subset of that, is personal growth, relationship, life coaching, and that accounts for almost 25% of the coaching market. So if I took 25%, I know right off the bat that I'm going to be able to get, that there's a market of at least 250,000 coaches that could be interested in my program. So you want to think about the market that you would potentially be able to reach, and is it a substantial enough market for you? Before I go on with that, next marketing tip, I'm going to answer some more questions. Tim asked, do I do program design as a standalone service? Yes, I do. And you can contact me by just writing a note to Sheila, which is SHEILA, at programcertificationformula.com. That's Sheila, SHEILA, at programcertificationformula.com. We can set up a free consultation where I can talk to you about those services. Do I have a checklist on PDF? I don't currently. If that's something that you would like, and especially Christine, would you drop me a note for anybody else who would want a checklist of things to go over? And as I've just stated this, you can. The other thing to do is to download my free publication, which is called Passive Income, Global Reach, which you had the opportunity to download. If you need the link for that, send me an email and I'll send you the link again for that, which has step-by-step the steps that I just presented to you. So we'll be able to do that for you. SJ asks, how long do the 7 steps take end to end, assuming you have the core material ready? Well, the program itself takes place over a 4-month process, but I also entertain individuals who want to fast track that, where we can work just together rather than in a class mode to be able to get that done more quickly for you. Let's see, do we have anybody else? Nope, not right now. So we'll go on with the steps that we have for marketing. So after you develop your market potential, what you can do is then next talk to coaches who fit your ideal profile. Just have conversations with them to see if they had the opportunity to become certified in your tools with your techniques. Would that interest them? Now, if you imagine, most coaches that are out there don't have formalized programs, and many, many coaches are generic coaches. Today, it's actually coaching is all about micro niching. That means identifying a narrower, a more focused market that is going to be interested in your coaching. So for instance, with Fit for Love again, it wasn't just general relationship coaching. It is a 10-step process that was guaranteed to a coach being trained that they'll have a business in a box. They'll have all the tools and skills they need to take their clients through a proven program called Fit for Love. So you will be thinking about then the ideal profile and refining it down, because many coaches would do better if they had a tried and true program to associate themselves with. And they can use this as their jumping off point if they're in a new program. Now, I'm going to talk to you more about the certification process with ICF and getting accredited, because so many people are interested in that. So I want to check with you first, and please give me some feedback using the Q&A box. I'm going to ask you a question. How do you feel right now? How do you feel about the thought of having passive income and global reach? So if you can just write me a note, maybe I'll read a couple of the examples, but how do you feel about that? How do you feel for you that this could work to really change your business? Now imagine yourself that you can go away on vacation and come home to money in the bank. I used to think that whole make money while you sleep was just clever marketing, until I started to experience it for myself as a result of certifying people to teach my work. How would that change your life? Would you have more time to be free with your family, take vacations, ride your bike, go on hikes, have lunch with friends, create new programs, or to develop new joint venture partnership relationships? So I'm getting some great ones. I'm getting leverage, leverage, leverage. Yes, this is a way to leverage your program. One person writes, it's my vision of my business. Another person says, really great, but I'm still not ready. And we can talk about that individually if you'd like. Another participant is saying, more than excited. Somebody's saying, great. We hit the wall by trying to sell direct. And with this, we can tap into trusted coaching relationships, providing values to both parties. Another person says, feel great, because it's available all the time. Now, I got another participant said that they see this as a game changer, a life changer. And I have to tell you that for my Fit for Love program, it was a life changer. And then it all led to this whole new part of my career, which is working with other people just like you to help them to leverage their businesses. So you have no idea what will be started. Now, I developed program certification formula as a way to guarantee that coaches and speakers and authors just like you would be able to quickly, easily, and successfully complete all of the components needed to having an amazing new certification program. The promise that I make by program certification formula, and if you join us, my promise to you is by the end of 4 months, if you follow my exact steps and dedicate the necessary time and energy, you're going to have a completed certification program that is ready for ICF accreditation or other accrediting bodies as you might identify that are important for your work. I have a couple of clients now who are looking to get their program certified through boards of nursing or boards of education. And I give you guidance on how to do that, and we take a look at the forms so that I can make sure that your program is designed from the get-go to meet those requirements. Question that just came up before I move on with that is, how long have I been teaching this program? How many graduates do I have? I have just over 80 graduates. I've been doing this program for coming up on 2 years, and I also have private clients. Besides a program, what I also offer is a done with you product and then a done for you product, which some clients opt for. But most of my clients are involved in the program certification formula class. Now, it is, I promise you, a one-of-a-kind, hands-on program for professionals like you who are interested in the exact steps that are necessary to turn your existing programs into coach certification programs. Now, here's what you get with program certification, the whole package of program certification formula. You get the exact method to exponentially grow your business. Every step you take is broken down in a way that's simple for you to implement. You get the step-by-step approach to make your existing programs even more impactful by working more implementation strategies into them. I share with you my instructional design secrets so that you can have the best program possible, which will help in the number of clients who actually complete your program. I'll give you the tools to ensure that all participants do complete and excel with your program. There's no better testimonial than a client that has gone through your program. I give you the exact process for packaging your program in a manner that's compelling to the coaches that you want to attract. You receive the essential skills to identify your exact target market, test your marketing message, find potential participants, and license your content. I have templates, tools, and resources for all of these, which are located on a private participant portal, which is your own virtual academy, as you go forward in developing your program. I give you a dynamic implementation program, a plan that we'll do together to complete your certification. And we have 8 live sessions during this time together where we focus on doing the work in your specific program. And we also focus on any barriers or blocks you might be reaching, and I like to share best practices with you all the time because it can give you ideas of things that you can do in your program. Now, its program certification formula is proven with all of the clients that we've had through it, and it guides you from point A to point B, from not having a certification program to having a dynamic program ready to be accredited by the ICF that is appealing to your target market of coaches. I'm all about helping visionary entrepreneurs just like you to make business transformations that help you to leverage your time, make a bigger impact, earn more money after just 4 months. That's a short period of time to change the way you're doing your business. I've guided a lot of coaches through this journey, and there's a lot of proof that it works. I'm going to name a few people who have given me permission to use their names. The first person is Margaret Lynch. Many of you may have heard of her. She is the person that developed the Tapping into Wealth best-selling book, and it was on the New York Times bestsellers list for some time. And she also has developed the Tapping into Wealth Coach Certification Program. And Margaret wrote this and said, please read this to your participants, which is, Sheila Paxton got our program accredited by the ICF. We knew it was incredibly important to have our coach certification program accredited by the International Coaching Federation, but the process just seemed too daunting for us. Sheila is a master at highlighting the most effective details and wording them in the proper language to ensure accreditation. Under her master direction, our program was accredited with even more hours than expected. We highly recommend Sheila as the undeniable expert in this arena and will always be grateful for her guidance. Rachel Archelaus, who is the creator of the Certified Intuitive Artist Program, sent me a note, a testimonial saying, I want to thank Sheila for helping me get my certification program organized and professional. I made more on launching the certification program than I had made in any other launch I have done. I have a list of clients that are waiting for the next launch this fall. If you have a system or modality that you want to take to the next level, join her program certification formula. I made an additional $50,000 in 2015 just by having my certification program. So thanks. There are lots of other testimonials from people that I can provide to you, but to show you that this process works. Now, before I go on to just some other components that I want to share with you, there's a couple of questions, or I see one question that we have that is from one of our viewers who says, I'm a lawyer committed to helping JV partners create a network that can be leveraged to create multiple streams of income. As a lawyer, I've seen certifications, especially in the financial area, come under attack as a marketing tool that has no connection to quality of service or expertise. How do you handle that? The question, and that's a wonderful question. Where I handle that is I show that we are different from other programs because of the accreditation that is offered to a particular certification program. There are lots of programs out there that make claims, that make promises that you don't stand with. That is very different from the programs that are developed by program certification formula clients, because you will have a level of excellence and expertise even if you don't apply for accreditation by an outside body. You will have a level of teaching, of implementation in your program that makes your program part of the top 3% of all of the programs that are eligible out there for you to take. And the way we do this is through instructional design excellence. Step by step, we show what the promises are for each of the steps in the program, and we show you how to get there for it. Now, another person says, I've developed a whole new approach coming out of 10 years of doing EFT and other methods. It has specific tools or methods which apply across many coaching interests in personal growth, dating, and so on, making results from my program faster, deeper, and more effective. Can a certification be created for a specific method that coaches can apply in their specialty? And my answer to you for that is absolutely. Just as we did with Margaret Lynch, who also uses tapping in her program, she developed a proprietary process for using skills that can be taught free over YouTube videos. But the step-by-step process that she used that was supplemented by these amazing tools, the EFT tools, are things that you can absolutely have certified. So great question. Thanks so much for doing that. So as I was saying before, lots of coaches try to tackle doing these certification programs on their own. And what they usually find is that it requires a lot of time and money to master the certification components, the instructional design that meets the accreditation requirements of various organizations. I develop program certification formula so that you don't have to worry about that, and it's going to save you a ton of time and money. Program certification formula guides you to get started with a winning formula now. So if you think this is for you, here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on a link that I'm going to put in the chat box right now, and it's to get more information by going to www.programcertificationformula.com. If you open your chat boxes, /enroll, ENROLL. And what you are able to do is to click on that link and see a page that explains in even more detail everything you get with the program. So please feel free at this time to click on that link, and you'll be able to start the registration process. I want you to know also, though, that the class size is limited. I limit each class to just 20 participants so that everyone gets individual attention from me, and also one-on-one time. And when you're looking at the enrollment form, you see that you're able to have 2 one-on-one individual calls with me as you're developing your program, specific program content, and moving forward to develop the rest of the certification programs. So if you're a fast action taker and you want your business to look totally different in just 4 months from now, click the link, save your spot in the program. So let's talk for a second, too, about what it's like to have brand ambassadors all around the world. Brand ambassadors. Here's one of the things that I suggest all clients that I have do. When a person gets your coach certification icon, and I suggest that you develop this for them, you enable them to put it on their websites that shows that Joe Smith is a certified Fit for Love coach. And you explain with your licensing materials how that logo may be used, and have the specific style sheet for font color and other things that you may use to expand the icon that you give them. The icon also points back to your website. So just think, you have all these coaches that you're certifying, and they all have link backs to your site. That really helps you with Google rankings and in terms of search engine successes that you have. So that's, having those global ambassadors. And I know for me that it was so important to reach an unlimited number of people, but I'm only one person, and I can't reach more than so many people at one time. Having people that were certified, that could represent my brand, that could spread the message earlier, easier, was in alignment completely with my values of helping every single person to find and keep the love of their life. Think about, for you, what it's like to have your message spread at a logarithmic rate from what it's being spread now, by having professionals who say, I am licensed, I'm certified, in this particular program. It is an awesome feeling, I know, and I would love to be able to share that with you. I have somebody who asked, where is the link? And if you will please open your chat box, let me know if it's not in there. You should see programcertificationformula.com/enroll. Again, just in case the link's not showing, you will go to programcertificationformula.com/enroll, ENROLL. So imagine again that you're going to have people who are going to license your content, your tools, your branding, the clickbacks you're going to be getting. These are just a small number of the advantages you'll have by certification. Now, by this time, you're probably thinking, how much does this cost? How expensive is it going to be for us? So let's look at the value again. You're going to participate in a process that I'm guaranteeing will give you an entirely new source of revenue through certification and licensing. Your programs are going to stand out from the crowd as you obtain your accreditation from ICF or other accrediting bodies. When you receive accreditation, as I had mentioned before, you're going to be included in the ICF catalog and in their events catalog. You're going to have more free time as a result of having a passive income stream. You can truly know what it feels like to make money while you sleep, while you take vacations, while you enjoy time with your family. And you're going to be able to apply the PCF knowledge, program certification formula knowledge, to any future programs you develop. This is a rinse and repeat process that once you learn, you can reapply to any other program you develop without having to take the course again. That means you can have multiple streams of passive income just by taking program certification formula one time. Learn once and profit repeatedly. Now, originally, PCF was valued at $39.97, and in addition, I have developed benefits that also are included that have a money value on them, which includes you will have during the period of the program and until you submit your application for accreditation by ICF or another body, unlimited email access to me. Now, this is until you've completed your program and submitted your application. You'll have 2 30-minute one-on-one calls with me. You'll have templates and resources to make your certification and accreditation a breeze. You'll also have a robust and easy-to-access private academy. It's a website for just you that contains all of the live recordings from the program. It includes pre-recorded content that you can refer to again and again. It includes the tools and the resources for successfully developing your certification program. Now, all of the extras are valued at $3,100, making the program a total of over $7,000. But you are not going to pay anything like near that price. It's important to me that program certification formula be affordable for anyone that wants to multiply their impact and income. So I'm offering the entire package for just one payment of $19.97. That's a savings of over $5,000. I also offer a 4-payment program that is 4 monthly payments of $547 each, and you can specify that on the enrollment form. On top of all of that, I guarantee money back. We'll still be friends if you want to cancel for 30 days, complete 100% money back guarantee on program certification formula. So you're saving over $5,000. You're getting the entire program and all of the bonuses, and you don't have to worry because if you're unhappy, you'll get your money back. So take action now to save you a seat in our program. I have another question that I received, which is, do you teach the marketing methods you use? Absolutely. We spend an entire module talking about not just my marketing methods, but the marketing methods that previous participants have used that have been guaranteed to work. We have proof that they work, and I share those with you. And in your resources section of your student portal, you also have access to templates from your marketing plan and for sample marketing plans that other program certification formula clients have developed. So are you ready to join? All you have to do is click on the link to reserve your spot. There are only 20 spots available. It's programcertificationformula.com/enroll, ENROLL. So now it's time to hear from you. More questions if you have them. I can make them available to you. Another question is, are all of the program modules available before the 30 days so that we can see if the program is going to live up to the promises? What I do present to everybody is a summary of every module. Not all of the content is made available. The content, the specific detail content comes up each week before when you're given the module. But I have the overview with the module promises. The first 3 modules are so informative, action-packed, and absolutely essential to having a terrific certification program that you'll be able to judge just with the promises that you are getting from those first 3 sessions, whether the program is a fit for you or not. And to tell you the truth, if you got past those first 3 modules and you were not happy with the program, you can contact me specifically. You have my email now, and you can contact me. We can talk about it and make plans that would work for you in terms of moving forward, or perhaps not completing the program if you didn't think it was a fit. What I go on is, all I have to go on is my reputation. I want everybody in my program to be happy, to be able to develop their certification program within the time frame that we've set aside, the 4 months of the program. So other questions, please submit them. I'd love to be hearing from you. So all you have to do to join us and to find out more information, because it's available on the registration form, is to go to programcertificationformula.com/enroll, and we will be able to provide you with everything that you need to register to join us. And you'll also be receiving a link in an email if you would like to have a one-on-one complimentary strategy session with me before you begin the program or before you even enroll in the program. That's an option too, because some people like me to look at their programs and to talk them through the certification process. So that's going to be an option for you too. You'll be receiving that in an email that comes to you. So we've reached the top of our hour. If there's any other questions, I'd love you to submit them for another 30 seconds. If I don't see any questions popping up, we'll sign off. And again, please send questions to me, Sheila, at programcertificationformula.com, and the enrollment form is ready for you there to be one of the first 20 that will join me in my next class. So I thank you so much, and it's been great to be with you here. We do have one more question that's coming in, and that is, I'm a certified coach and certified teacher already teaching coaches. Is this for me? Absolutely, it's for you. And let's set up a time that we can talk specifically where I can give you some suggestions. I'm going to be answering the person that you did that. I'm going to be answering you with a way that you can be in touch with me, so that we can talk about that a little bit more. Okay, any others coming in? I've got some thank yous coming in. You are so welcome. And I will look forward to hearing from you. Again, I love to answer your questions. I love to work with you individually. So don't hesitate to contact me and to enroll, programcertificationformula.com/enroll, ENROLL. Until next time, thank you. Thank you.